You just sat down, menus in your hand, $40 for a steak. Worth it? Probably not. Here's the problem. Most chains don't care about steak. They care about profit. They buy the cheapest beef, they hire the cheapest cooks, they cut corners you'll never see, then they charge you like it's fine dining. In 2024, hospitalizations from contaminated food doubled. Deaths doubled too. And steak? It's one of the biggest culprits. I spent weeks digging. Inspection reports, lawsuits, supplier data, insider admissions. Here's the good news. Not every chain is a disaster. Some still get it right. Real beef, real cooks, real kitchens. Tonight, I'm giving you the cheat sheet. 7 restaurants to avoid. 7 where you can order with confidence. Let's start with a shocker. A place that charges $70 for steak. A place that just got shut down. For roaches. Number 1, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. The $70 gamble. Ruth Fertile mortgaged her house in 1965. She bought a failing steakhouse. She built an empire on quality. One woman, one dream, perfect steak. 60 years later, that empire just failed a health inspection. February 17, 2026. Marina del Rey, California. Health department walks in. They find vermin, actual roaches. The restaurant gets shut down immediately. 2 major violations. No insects, rodents, birds, or animals present. That's the actual rule. They broke it. Food contact surfaces? Not clean, not sanitized. Let me read you a customer comment from that week. Last time I was there, we sat at the bar. It was absolutely filthy. This is Ruth's Chris, the legend, the place where filet costs $70, where a cocktail runs you $20. Vermin in the kitchen. Ruth's Chris responded. They said the problem was confined to a small area. They reopened 3 days later. But here's the thing. Health departments don't shut down restaurants for one ant. They shut you down for infestation, for breeding, for a problem that's been there a while. Ruth's Chris uses Usta Prime beef, the best grade. Beautiful marbling, aged 28 days, cooked at 1800 degrees. None of that matters if roaches are in the kitchen. If you're going anyway, check your location's inspection report first. It's public record. Look it up. If they had violations recently, go somewhere else. And if your server seems nervous, trust your gut. Ruth built an empire on perfection. Her name is on the door. She'd be heartbroken. Number 2, Longhorn Steakhouse. The outbreak. Longhorn is supposed to be the good one. Working family's champion. Solid steak. Fair price. We'll get to them later in the best list. But here's what happened in 2024. Fairview Heights, Illinois. September and October. People started getting sick. Really sick. Stomach cramps. Fever. The kind of sick where you can't get off the bathroom floor. 80 people, at least. Ages 2 to 91. Grandparents and grandchildren. 6 people ended up in the hospital. The restaurant closed. The culprit? Shigella, a bacteria that causes violent food poisoning spread by contaminated food or dirty hands. A food safety lawyer named Jory Lange got involved. He said something terrifying. This is the biggest Shigella outbreak that I know of in recent years. Biggest in recent years. At Longhorn. Here's the part that makes you think. Just 3 weeks before the outbreak, health inspectors visited. They found 4 violations, missing thermometers, grease everywhere, grease dripping from the exhaust hood onto the kitchen. 4 violations. 3 weeks later, 80 people sick. Longhorn is owned by Darden, same company as Olive Garden, same company as Capital Grille, billions in revenue. They know how to run a clean kitchen. But one location failed, and 80 people paid for it. The restaurant closed. It never reopened. As of late 2024, that location is gone. Here's what this teaches you. Even good chains have bad locations. Even places you trust can fail. One cook not washing hands. One manager skipping a temperature check. That's all it takes. If you're over 65, food poisoning isn't a bad weekend. It's a hospital bed. Your immune system doesn't bounce back like it used to. So here's your rule. Check recent inspections before you go. Every state has a database. Every inspection is public. 5 minutes of research can save you 5 days of misery. Longhorn is still a good chain overall. We'll talk about why later. But 80 people got sick. 6 went to the hospital. That's not a statistic, that's a warning. Number 3, Brian's Steaks, the local legend. Brian's has been around forever. It's the place locals love, the kind of restaurant tourists ask about. Where do you eat? Locals say Brian's. February 2026. Lubbock, Texas. Health inspection. 15 violations. Raw beef above safe temperature. Raw chicken, too. 41 degrees is the limit. They were warmer. Bacteria love warm. Black residue inside the ice bucket. Not a little. Black. Dented cans on the shelf. You know what dented cans mean? Botulism. The kind of poisoning that paralyzes you. The kind that kills. Employees wash their hands for less than 10 seconds. You need 20. 10 seconds doesn't kill anything. It's just theater. Glass cleaner stored right next to food. 1 spray away from your steak. Ice machine top covered in dust and debris. That dust falls into your drink. This is the beloved local spot, the one everyone recommends. 15 violations. Here's what locals don't tell you. They haven't seen the kitchen. They haven't watched employees wash hands. They just know the food tastes good. Taste isn't safety. A steak can be delicious and deadly. If you're eating at a local place, pay attention. Does the bathroom look clean? That's usually the kitchen too. Are the employees handling food, then touching money, then handling food again? That's cross-contamination. Local doesn't mean safe. Nostalgia doesn't kill bacteria. Brian's is still open. They fixed the violations. But here's the thing. Inspectors find what they see in one visit. What don't they see? Think about that next time someone says you have to try this local place. Number 4, Orlando's. The double-digit disaster. Orlando's. Another Lubbock favorite. February 2026 inspection. 19 violations. Ready to eat ground beef? Above safe temperature again. Chicken and Italian sausage? Past their use by date. Expired meat. On the line. Ready to serve. Dead insects on a sticky trap. Inside a hand sink cabinet. Not the trap. The cabinet. Where hands go. Clean utensils? They had food residue. Clean means sanitized. This was just rinsed. An employee used bare hands to make a salad. No glove, no policy, just bare hands touching your food. 19 violations. That's not a mistake. That's a system failure. Orlando's has been around for years. People love it. They go for birthdays, for anniversaries, for date night. Nobody knows about the expired sausage. Nobody sees the dead insects. They just see the full parking lot. Here's something restaurants don't want you to know. High volume hides problems. When you're busy, you cut corners. When you're busy every night, those corners stay cut. 19 violations means the manager isn't checking. The owner isn't watching. The health department is the only oversight, and they show up once a year. If you walk into a packed restaurant, don't assume it's good. Assume it's popular. Popular and clean are different things. Order something cooked well done if you're nervous. Heat kills bacteria. But it doesn't fix expired meat. It doesn't fix bare hands. 19 violations. Remember that number next time someone recommends Orlando's. Number 5, Mirch Masala. The Indian buffet problem. Different cuisine. Same problems. Worse numbers. February 2026, Lubbock, Texas. Mirch Masala. 24 violations. Chicken dated for 11 days. Health code says 7 days max. 4 extra days of bacteria growth. 4 extra days of, is this still good? Raw eggs stored above, ready to eat cheese. Basic rule, eggs on bottom, cheese on top. Raw meat juices drip down, not up. They did the opposite. Salmonella rain on your cheese. Dented cans, again. Botulism risk, again. No paper towels at the hand sink. Employees can't dry their hands. Wet hands spread bacteria better than dry ones. Raw lamb thawing under stagnant water. 94 degrees, that's bathwater temperature. Bacteria love 94 degrees. They reproduce every 20 minutes. Employee cell phone on the prep table, where they cut your food. Employee wallet on the ice machine, where your drink ice comes from. 24 violations. Buffets are already risky. Food sits out. People breathe on it. Other customers touch the serving spoons. Now add 24 health violations. Here's the rule that never fails. If a restaurant is famous for something else, don't order steak. Indian food, get the curry. Mexican food, get the tacos. Breakfast place, get the pancakes. Steak takes focus, it takes skill. It takes a kitchen that cares about one thing. If the kitchen has 24 violations, they don't care about anything. Order what they're actually good at. Or better yet, order from somewhere else. Number 6, Texas Roadhouse. The betrayal. You know this one. The rolls, the butter, the peanuts on the floor, the butcher behind glass. It feels honest. It's not. February 2025. Henrietta, New York. Health department shut them down. Mice. Roaches. And the worst part? Roaches in the sauce. On the cooking line. Not near it. In it. Peanut bags chewed open by rodent teeth. The floor peanuts had competition. Colorado locations failed too. One in Colorado Springs failed twice. May 2024. Again in 2025. Another location racked up 10 violations in one visit. Texas Roadhouse made $5 billion last year. $5 billion. They have money for pest control. They have money for clean kitchens. Instead, inspectors find roaches in the sauce. Remember that viral video? Woman ordered a family meal. Cut into her sirloin. It collapsed, like wet sand, like mashed potatoes. She said it smelled funky. Texas Roadhouse admitted it. Over-tenderized. Their process went too far. Then the steaks sat in sealed containers. Steam kept cooking them into paste. Here's what they didn't explain. Why is their process so aggressive? Why does it turn steak into baby food? The visible butcher is a magic trick. The tenderizing room is where the real action happens. Mechanical blades puncture the meat. They break down fibers. They also push bacteria inside. A steak cooked rare on the outside might have bacteria in the middle. Normally, the surface heat kills it. But mechanical tenderizing pushes surface bacteria deep inside. Now, your medium rare steak might not be safe. Texas Roadhouse doesn't tell you that. If you absolutely have to go, order the thickest cut. Ribeye, not sirloin. Thicker hides the damage. Eat in the restaurant. No takeout. Those sealed containers turn steak into paste. And if something seems off, send it back. Take a photo first. The butcher behind glass is theater. The real show happens where you can't see. Number 7, Applebee's, where steaks go to die. Applebee's is everywhere. Every suburb, every highway exit, every town with a hotel. In 2016, they launched a campaign, wood-fired grills, hand-cut steaks. They spent millions convincing you they were a steakhouse. Customers showed up and immediately posted photos. One went viral. Pale gray slab of meat looked like it had been found, not cooked. Reddit had a field day. Someone described Applebee's cooking process as lay a lukewarm tennis racket across a rectangular hamburger patty and stick it all in the microwave. That's not a restaurant review. That's a crime scene description. Here's why. Applebee's uses Usta Select beef. The lowest grade sold at retail. One step above commodity meat, the bottom of the barrel wearing a tie. Select is lean, tough, flavorless. It doesn't have the marbling that makes steak tender. You can't grill your way out of Select. You can't season your way out. You can't market your way out. The steak fails before it hits the grill. Then wrapped it in a wood-fired grill campaign. That's not a steakhouse. That's a magic trick, a bad one. Have you ordered steak at Applebee's? Did you regret it immediately? Drop the location in comments. I want to hear the stories. Here's your rule. Don't order steak at Applebee's. Order appetizers. Order bar food. Order whatever they're actually good at. If someone holds a gun to your head, get the highest priced cut. Extra toppings. And pray. Applebee's is cheap, you know the deal. But cheap steak isn't a deal. It's a disappointment on a plate. 7 restaurants. 7 disappointments. 7 kitchens you don't want to see. But here's the thing. Not every chain gave up. Some still care. Places where steak is sacred. Places where cooks actually cook. Let's flip the 7 best. Number 1, the Capitol Grill. The quiet professional. Walk into certain Capitol Grill locations. You'll see something strange. Glass-enclosed meat lockers right in the dining area. Inside those lockers, primal cuts of beef, hanging for weeks, aging in plain sight. When you order, something happens. An actual butcher walks up, carves your steak fresh. Right there, just for you. That's not marketing, that's craft. Dry aging does something beautiful. Moisture evaporates. Enzymes break down muscle fibers. The flavor concentrates, gets deeper, richer, almost nutty. Most chains don't have the patience. Dry aging costs money, takes space, requires skill. 3 things chains avoid. Capital Grille does it anyway. They use Oosta Prime, the best grade. They source from family-run Midwest farms. They finish at high heat. The result? Tasting Table ranked them best steakhouse chain in America. Technomic put them in their top 10 favorite chains, with brands 10 times their size. 74 locations. Fine dining quality, replicated over and over. That's hard. When you go, order the dry-aged New York strip or the bone and ribeye. Those showcase the aging. Ask about the Snake River Farms Wagyu if they have it. Domestic Wagyu from Idaho. The marbling is extraordinary. Capital Grille is an investment. You're paying for craft. In this industry, craft gets rarer every year. But here's the best part. No gimmicks, no robots, no marketing campaigns, just beef, time, skill, the quiet professionals. They don't need to yell. Number 2, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Wait, didn't you just... Yes, I did. Ruth's Chris made the worst list. Marina Del Rey had vermin. That happened. That's real. But here's the thing. Ruth's Chris, at its best, is unbeatable. Let me tell you about the woman behind the name. Ruth Fertile, 1965. Single mom. Sees a failing steakhouse for sale. Doesn't have the money. Mortgages her house. Buys it anyway. Then a fire destroys everything. She has to move. Can't use the old name at the new location. So she adds her own. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, born from disaster, built by a woman who refused to quit. Here's what Ruth figured out. People don't want good food. They want reliable food. When you're celebrating a 50th anniversary, you don't want to gamble. You want certainty. Ruth's Chris delivers certainty. Every steak is Oosta Prime, the absolute highest grade. Aged 28 days, broiled at 1800 degrees. Served on a 500-degree plate sizzling in butter. That hot plate keeps cooking as you eat, every bite as perfect as the first. The chain has over 150 locations now, and in 2026, Technomic consumers rank them number 5, tied for 5th among every full-service restaurant in America. Not just steakhouses, every restaurant. Ruth's Chris isn't cheap, but here's what you're paying for. Consistency. Training. A system that works. The Marina Del Rey location failed. That's one restaurant. 149 others didn't. If you go, order the ribeye or the filet. The butter treatment makes them transcendent, medium rare. Their broilers are calibrated for precision. Save this for celebrations, anniversaries, milestone birthdays. This is where you go when it has to be perfect. Ruth mortgaged her house for this. Her name is on the door. At its best, that name means something. Just check the inspection report first. Number 3, Longhorn Steakhouse. Wait, didn't you just... Yes, I did that too. Longhorn had an outbreak. 80 people got sick. 6 went to the hospital. 1 location closed forever. That happened. But here's what else happened. In 2023, Longhorn honored an Ohio grill cook. He'd been with them 30 years. In that time, he'd prepared over 1 million steaks. Not a typo, 1 million. That's 91 steaks a day. Every day. For 3 decades. That's not a cook. That's a craftsman. Longhorn uses Oosta Choice beef. Same as Outback. Same as Texas Roadhouse. But here's the difference. They source carefully. They train relentlessly. Every location has grill masters, not line cooks thrown at a grill, specialists who earn the title, same grade of beef, completely different results. The American Customer Satisfaction Index tracks this stuff. In 2024, Longhorn tied for number 1 among every full-service restaurant in America, higher than Olive Garden, higher than Chili's, higher than Outback. Same store sales, up over 10%. Rising traffic. Named one of America's favorite brands. That's rare. Most casual chains are closing locations. Longhorn keeps growing. My brother-in-law is picky. Former restaurant cook. Judges everything. Last Thanksgiving, he couldn't get a reservation. Someone suggested Longhorn. He went in skeptical, came out surprised. They actually nailed medium rare, he said. First try. That's the highest compliment he gives. If you go, the Outlaw Ribeye, any bone in cut, ask for medium rare. Their grill masters are trained to hit it. Go earlier in the evening, not at closing when the kitchen's running on fumes. Longhorn isn't perfect. The outbreak proves that. But name one chain that is. Here's what matters. They invest in people. They train cooks for decades. Number 4, Fleming's Prime Steakhouse, the under-the-radar luxury. Here's a plot twist. Fleming's is owned by Bloomin' Brands. Same company as Outback, same parent company closing Outback locations left and right. So where's the money going? Follow it. Fleming's. In 2025, Bloomin' Brands opened a brand new Fleming's, Tampa, Florida. 13,000 square feet, seats 350 guests, glass wine vault holding 2,500 bottles, 16-foot floor-to-ceiling windows, 5 private dining rooms. They're planning to grow from 70 locations to 100. While Outback struggles, Fleming's builds monuments. The CEO said it publicly. Every new Fleming's will carry this design forward. That tells you everything. Follow the money. It's not going to Outback. Most people haven't heard of Fleming's. No Super Bowl commercials. No catchy jingles. That's the point. They quietly serve some of the best steaks in America. Ooster Prime from family-run Midwest Farms, cuts hand-selected for beautiful marbling, finished at 1,600 degrees. In 2024, they added A5 Wagyu to 20 locations, the highest grade of Japanese beef on the planet, at a chain restaurant. That's investment. That's excellence. That's the opposite of cutting corners. Fleming's doesn't have Ruth's Chris name recognition. Ask anyone who's been. They'll tell you it belongs on any celebration list. When you go, prime bone and ribeye. Tomahawk if you're feeling dangerous. Maximum marbling, maximum impact. Don't skip the wine program. The wine bar in the name isn't marketing. It's a promise. Their list is deep. Their staff knows it. This is a splurge. Not a Tuesday night. But worth every penny. Fleming's is what happens when a company decides to do it right, instead of cutting costs until nothing's left. Outback could learn something from its own sibling. Number 5. Morton's the Steakhouse. The Chicago Original, 1970s. Montreal. Playboy Club. 2 guys working together. Ari Morton runs the operation. Klaus Fritsch runs the kitchen. One day the club changes its menu. Klaus makes a hamburger for Ari to try. Ari bursts through the kitchen doors. Who made this? Klaus steps forward, nervous. Ari smiles. That's the best hamburger I've ever had. They called it the $1 Million Hamburger. It launched a partnership that changed American steakhouses. Chicago. Ari and Klaus open Morton's of Chicago, in a basement. The menu is deliberately simple. Giant potatoes, large steaks. No complicated sauces, no fusion experiments, just honest beef cooked right. Nearly 50 years later, over 65 locations. The founder passed in 2005. That philosophy hasn't changed. Simplicity, quality, no shortcuts. Morton's built its reputation on Ooster Prime steaks, many dry-aged, following the same standards set in that Chicago basement. In a world where chains chase trends and cut corners, Morton's stubbornness feels rebellious. When you go, the double porterhouse is their signature, legendary since 1978. The bone and ribeye or NY strip lets the aging shine. Ask your server what's particularly good that night. Career servers at Morton's know the kitchen intimately. They've been there. They've tasted everything. Morton's isn't trendy. It's not trying to be. It's the same steak it was 40 years ago. That's not failure. That's confidence. Confidence means you don't need a gimmick. The steak speaks for itself, and after 40 years, it's still speaking. Number 6, Fogo de Chão, the carnivore's wonderland. Steak isn't only American. Brazil does it differently. For over a century, it's called rodizio, all-you-can-eat feast. Gauchos circle the room, skewers of fire-roasted meat, slicing directly onto your plate. Fogo de Chão brought this to America in 1997. Here's how it works. You sit down, you get a card, one side green, one side red. Green means bring meat. Red means I surrender. As long as that card shows green, Gaucho chefs circle your table. Skewer after skewer, ribeye, filet, leg of lamb, bacon wrapped pork, on and on until you flip to red. Now, you might think all you can eat means low quality. After Golden Corral, I don't blame you. But Fogo is the anti-Golden Corral. They obsess over sourcing, partner only with ranches meeting rigorous standards. Welfare, sustainability. The gauchos train meticulously. They treat meat with reverence. Not like buffet items sitting under heat lamps since breakfast. The industry noticed. Technomic named Fogo to America's favorite chains top 10. Ranked them #1 full-service brand among Gen Z 66 U.S. locations. Average rating 4.5 stars. Opened 10 new locations in 2024, another 10 to 12 planned. In an era when chains close left and right, Fogo can't open fast enough. I took my dad for his 70th birthday. He's old school, meat and potatoes guy, suspicious of anything fancy. 2 hours later, he's loosening his belt. That was the best meal I've had in 20 years. He's gone back 3 times since. The man doesn't revisit restaurants. He went back 3 times. When you go, pace yourself. The salad bar is excellent. It's also a trap. Don't fill up before the good stuff. Tell your gaucho your preferred doneness at the start. Picanha is their signature. Top sirloin cap. Get multiple slices. Try the lamb chops. Try the bacon-wrapped filet. Fogo is celebration dining. An event. A spectacle. Sometimes you want quiet. Sometimes you want a parade of meat. Fogo gives you the parade. Number 7. The Palm. Old school. Top tier. 1926. A restaurant opens in New York City. Walls covered in caricatures. Tablecloths white. Steak simple. Honest. Perfect. Nearly 100 years later, the Palm is still standing. Most restaurants fail within 5 years. The Palm survived a century, world wars, recessions, the Great Depression, pandemics, food trends that came and went. The Palm kept doing one thing, serving excellent steak. No gimmicks, no sizzling 500-degree plates, no tableside theatrics, no foam, no smoke, no robots trying to cook medium rare, just Usta prime corn-fed beef, aged at least 35 days. Simple seasoning, kosher salt and parsley butter, cooks who've been doing this for decades. One reviewer fell in love precisely because every dish was simple but perfect. That's confidence. That's craft. That's nearly 100 years of not needing a gimmick. The steak speaks for itself. When you go, prime bone and ribeye. NY strip, let the aging and quality shine. Ask for medium rare. Their cooks know how to hit it. This is client entertaining. Anniversary dinner, the kind of place where you dress up because it feels right, not because you have to. The Palm isn't trying to be cool. It's been cool for 100 years. Cool doesn't need to try. In a world of constant reinvention, the Palm just stays. Same steak, same walls, same standards. That's not boring. That's bedrock. I started with scary numbers. Hospitalizations doubled, deaths doubled. I want to end with different numbers. 7. 7 restaurants that still believe steak should be an experience, not a gamble, not a coin flip, not a prayer. And 7 where you now know exactly what's happening. The cheap beef, the failed inspections, the corners cut where you can't see. That's what this was really about. Not just a list. Information. Information that protects you and your family. Every time you choose a restaurant that does it right, every time you walk away from one that doesn't, you're voting with your wallet. You're telling the industry what matters. That's power. Now you have the information to use it. I want to hear from you. What's the best steak you've ever had at a chain? What's the worst? Drop both in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe. More investigations coming. Click the video on your screen. It's the next step in taking control of where and what you eat. You've worked too hard. You've lived too long. Don't settle for a bad steak. Demand better. You've earned it.